Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Immigration Fridays. I'm your host, Prashanthi, and we're here again to guide you through an ever evolving maze of US immigration. This week, let's talk about a much awaited subject, the Visa Bulletin. Every time the Visa Bulletin comes out, people are always anxious to know what's in the Visa Bulletin. So let's talk about that today. The November Visa Bulletin is very important because that will tell you where you are in line with reference to your green card processing. But first, before we go into what the updates are with the November visa bulletins and how the dates moved, let's talk about what a visa bulletin is. Now, every year, the Department of State issues a certain limited number of green cards. The green cards issued are 140,000. However, the applicants far exceed the number of green cards that are issued. Therefore, it creates a backlog or a line. And in order to file your green card, then you should have reached your position in the line. So that's what the Visa Bulletin is. The Visa Bulletin is a table which lists the priority dates. It's like placeholders in the green card application line. So each month, the US Department of State calculates how many applications are waiting in each category, and this helps them estimate when different applicants might be able to move forward. So that's what the Visa Bulletin is. So if your priority date has been reached as per the Visa Bulletin, then you can go ahead and file your green card, your adjustment of status, or your immigrant visa petition. So there are two different tables in the Visa Bulletin. One is the dates for filing table. This is the actual date that your priority date is actually available. So if you file based on the dates on the final action date, then it means that your green card is available, the number is available, and you will actually get the green card after the processing time. The dates for filing table, which is the second table that is made available, is it is basically priority dates that are in advance, meaning that they're allowing you to file your 485 application in advance before the availability of the actual priority date. In this way, USCIS is hoping that by the time they process or adjudicate your 485, your priority date will become available. And so that's why they're allowing you to file in advance. So that's the dates for filing table, where they allow you to file in advance. And the final action dates is when your priority date is actually available. So once your priority date becomes available, there are two ways of moving forward. One is you can file an adjustment of status application if you're in the US. That is a 485 coupled with, if you want an advance parole, which will allow you to travel, and EAD, I-765 or employment authorization document, which will allow you to work. And you no longer have to be dependent on your non-immigrant status. If you're outside the country, though, you'd have to apply for an immigrant visa petition. This is done usually through the National Visa Center, and once they've processed it, they will send it to the consulate, and then once your priority date becomes available, they will have an interview and check all your documents, etc. And then you come in on an immigrant visa and get a green card once you come into the country. So now that we have an understanding of what the table is, what the Visa Bulletin is, let's go into some more details as to what the November Visa Bulletin says. In November, there were changes in almost all family-based categories, except for the F2A. The biggest change was in the F2B category for Mexico, which saw a 11-month jump. There was also a change in the F4 category for India. And there were no changes in the employment-based category, which is good news and bad news. So let's go into it in a little bit more detail. In the F1 family-based category, this is unmarried children aged 21 and older of US citizens. The only change is for Mexico, and the dates moved 6 months ahead. In the F2A category, that is spouses and unmarried children under age 21 of US green card holders, there's no change for any of the countries. For F2B category, unmarried children, 21 years or older of US green card holders, only change was, as I said earlier, was for Mexico, and it advanced by 11 months. So that's quite a big, rapid advancement. For married children of US citizens, that's F3 category, there has been a good change. All countries, it's 6 months. China moved up by 6 months, and India moved up as well by 6 months. This is married children of US citizens, F3. And right now for India, the dates are April 22nd, 2012. So there's some movement, as you can see. Now for sibling category, F4, siblings of US citizens, the dates moved up by 1 month and 2 weeks for Indian nationals, and moved up significantly for Philippine nationals by 11 months and 1 week. So as you see, there has been some movement in the family-based category, and as I said before, for the employment-based category, there has been no movement at all, which is in a way good, because there's no retrogression. So no news is good news in this case. So why has there not been any movement in the employment-based category, and why so little movement in the family-based category? Why do we have these backlogs? And what do we expect for December? Do we expect there'll be forward movement in December, or more of the same? Let's go into more details with reference to that. And just to give you a little history as to why there are backlogs, so that you understand the entire process. As I was saying, the number of green cards issued every year are 140,000. Number of green card numbers available. And of course, the number of cases filed, green cards filed, far exceeds that. So the number of being 140,000 plus any numbers not used by the other countries or other categories. For example, EB3, you get about 20 odd percent of the 140,000, because it's divided again as per the different categories. So you get the percentage available for EB3 plus any unused numbers from EB2. For EB2, you get the percentage available for EB2 category plus any unused numbers from the EB1 category. And for EB1 category, you get the numbers that have not been used for the EB4 and EB5 category. And so that's so on and so forth. That's how it works. And at the same time, India, for example, will get any numbers not used by other countries, because India is the highest demand, and then followed by China. So as you can say, this creates huge backlogs. In addition to the 140,000 green card numbers being available, limited numbers being available, out of that, 7% are given to each country. So even a country of high demand and high population like India gets only 7%, and a country like Iceland, which has some thousands of citizens, gets 7% as well. So while the visa numbers, priority dates are available for many countries, which is worldwide, comes under worldwide, for India and China, the priority date is not available even for the next 10 years in many categories. So while a person from Iceland, say, can get a green card immediately, a person from India, it'll take them 20 years or more, or sometimes their entire lives to get a green card. So that's the kind of inequitable situation that we're in right now. So the backlogs, just to give you some idea as to what the backlogs were last year. In EB1, India backlog was 10,000. In EB2, the Indian backlog was 426,000. EB3 was 133,000, etc., etc. So these visa bulletin predictions, of course, if we have to make a prediction now for December, it's only a prediction. So this is not legal advice, it's purely guesswork. So based on the high demand in the employment second category, most likely as per the US Department of State, what they've said in their visa bulletin, it might be required to retrogress EB2 worldwide next month. And Next month also, most probably EB3 also will be retrogressed for worldwide. And we don't expect any rapid or dramatic forward movement with EB2 and EB3 for India also. So that's what it is with reference to a prediction. You might see some forward movement of a few weeks or maybe a month in the family based categories, and hopefully the same for India in EB2 and EB3 categories. You might see more rapid forward movement in the EB1 category, as you know, there hasn't been much movement there. So with that, it's a wrap for Immigration Fridays this week. I hope you found this episode useful. Please like and subscribe. And if you need any legal advice, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach us at 212-354-1010 or at my email, prashanthi@readyesq.com. Thank you. See you next week.